Panama, you already know who I am. Yeah, you already know who I am. Gotta go on this nerve, baby. I'm focused to win. Gotta go around this nerve ring. I'm focused to win. Night writer shit, new album coming out. Go get that shit right now. Vete a buscar, te voy a enseñar. Ellos quieren tirar, no saben improvisar. Quieren fritalear, quieren mezclar todo lengua, todo demás. Pero yo sé la verdad, mamá, que tú te quieres montar. En mi máquina yo la fui a saludar, ordenar par de cosas. En el restaurante estaba ella, donde ella trabaja. Yo pienso en ella, quiero amarla. Me tengo que preguntar, ¿cuál es la verdad? ¿Cuál es su edad? Si ella se quiere casar, pienso de verdad. Estoy hablando del futuro, mami. Dime si tú te quieres desconectar, me la voy a llevar. Vamos a viajar internacional, yo te quiero llevar donde tú quieras. Si ella quiere que se queda, él se la lleva para Europa. En la exit Panama, you already know who I am. Yeah, you already know who I am. Gotta go on this nerve, baby. I'm focused to win. Gotta go around this nerve ring. I'm focused to win. Night writer shit, new album coming out. Go get that shit right now. Vete a buscar, te voy a enseñar. Ellos quieren tirar, no saben improvisar. Quieren fritalear, quieren mezclar todo lengua, todo demás. Pero yo sé la verdad, mamá, que tú te quieres montar. En mi máquina yo la fui a saludar, ordenar par de cosas. En el restaurante estaba ella, donde ella trabaja. Yo pienso en ella, quiero amarla. Me tengo que preguntar, ¿cuál es la verdad? ¿Cuál es su edad? Si ella se quiere casar, pienso de verdad. Estoy hablando del futuro, mami. Dime si tú te quieres desconectar, me la voy a llevar. Vamos a viajar internacional, yo te quiero llevar donde tú quieras. Si ella quiere que se queda, él se la lleva para Europa. Él la exhibía a ella como una copa. Él ganó el primer lugar con la cantidad que él fue a filmar. La disquera querían hablar y yo no tenía más nada que negociar. El tiempo iba a pasar, que tú pensabas que el precio no iba a incrementar. No, yo quiero más. Tú sabes el valor del catálogo mío, esa es la verdad. Tú quieres negociar, vamos a hablar. Tú puedes comprar, alquilar la cantidad del catálogo que tú quieras. Y ahí se acabó. Eso no tiene que ver nada con mi compañía, con mi carrera, con la música mía, con la disquera que yo tenía. Desde los tiempos que yo estaba afuera en una esquina, en una neblina. Tigre se incorpora y paga lo que se tenía. El tigre está incorporado, loco, el tigre está invirtiendo right now, vaina digital. Ni sabía que ese tigre se iba a buscar. Y ahora qué pasa, millonario soy yo. Tú quieres que yo filme, no estoy interesado. Yo tengo demasiado, que es lo que ustedes a mí me están hablando, el catálogo. Mira, está lloviendo, lloviendo, vamos para la calle, está lloviendo, lloviendo, vamos para la calle, está lloviendo, vamos para la calle, está lloviendo, vamos para la calle. Yo estaba afuera, yo estaba afuera, yo estaba afuera, yo estaba afuera, relámpago, relampaguea, relámpago, relampaguea. Yo estaba afuera cuando yo estaba afuera cuando yo estaba afuera cuando con quien tú estabas, yo estaba con ella, con quien tú estabas, yo estaba con ella, y el tabaco que se encienda, y el tabaco que se encienda, donde tú estabas, yo afuera andaba. ella sabe, mi Elvita, ella se llama Menina Elvita, esa es mi Elvita, yo a ella la besaba, Elvita, ella está afuera, ella tenía una banquilla, ella tenía su jipetica, mami, yo estoy aficiado de ti. Por favor, háblame a mí. Yo no sé qué te pasa conmigo. ¿Dónde está mi mami? ¿Dónde está mami? 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 ¿Dónde está mi mami? Alguien por favor explíqueme, alguien por favor explíqueme a ella le hice, a ella le hice, yo le pregunto ¿dónde está el mami? Yo le pregunto ¿dónde está el mami? Mami dime que yo te hice a ti, mami dime que yo te hice a ti, ¿dónde está el mami? ¿Dónde está mami? ¿Dónde está el mami? ¿Dónde está mami? Y yo le pregunto ¿qué te hice a ti? Y yo le pregunto ¿qué te hice a ti? ¿Dónde está el mami? ¿Dónde está mami? ¿Dónde está el mami? ¿Dónde está mami? Yo te busco a ti, yo te busco siempre a ti. Yo no te pegué lo que dijeron, yo no te pegué lo que dijeron. Era a ti mi amor que yo busco. Era a ti, mi amor, que yo busco. Tomar guay, ella sabe que yo estoy apreciado, no sé oxivado, estoy apreciado, no sé oxivado, estoy apreciado, no sé oxivado, estoy apreciado, esa mujer no le iba a ella que se vaya, estoy apreciado, esa mujer no le iba a ella que se vaya, en mi jipeta del año, capitaleña, estamos brillando, en mi jipeta del año, capitaleña, estamos brillando, el rapero que tú vas a ser emboceando, rapero que tú vas a ser emboceando, yo estoy aquí, callando, yo estoy aquí, callando, en el patio, la marquesina, la finca con la gallina, están bailando los pollitos, están bailando los pollitos, ¿dónde está el chivo? El caballito, ¿dónde está el chivo? El caballito, vamos para el río, vamos para la playa, vamos para el río, vamos para la playa, quiere hangar, donde hay papaya, quiere hangar, donde hay papaya, el aguacate se cayó, el aguacate se me cayó, un pan, hoy como yo, un pan, hoy como yo, pan de agua, mamá, pan de agua, mamá, pan de agua, y tabaco, ay, el trago, y tabaco, ay, el trago, donde tú estabas, yo te buscaba, donde tú estabas, yo te buscaba, ella sale con la papaya, ella sale con la papaya, con su vasolina, con su pipeta, con su vasolina, con su pipeta, ella no le importa, siempre está afuera, ella no le importa, siempre está afuera, ella vaya, la yuca, ella a mí me vaya, la yuca, ella sabe de chucha, y ella sabe de chicha. Fuera, borrachero, fuera, borrachero, ese va al centro y el brutal, ese va al centro y el brutal, mi chatica, de bacalme, mi chatica, de bacalme, que tú vas a beber, que tú vas a beber, que tú vas a beber, que tú vas a beber. Oye mami, dime si te vas conmigo, vete conmigo, tú a ella, la conozco, cuando era un bebito, tú sabes, chamaquito, con lo tenido, el lo viejito, yo no serví, andando en mi cepillo, quiere conmigo, a mí yo estoy en vivo, dime si tú quieres estar conmigo, yo te quiero demasiado, pero soy un vampiro, me dicen Alejandro, porque ando con un pero en cada bolsillo, a mí no juegue conmigo, a mí en la esquina no quiere, me han dicho que yo soy el amigo, porque yo soy un bandido, mentira, falta, es de nada, cuando el clima, a ella le encantaba, yo le demostraba, dice la gente cuando hablaba, que yo le demostraba, que por ella todo yo lo sacrificaba, yo estudiaba, ella trabajaba, yo estudiaba, la buscaba, ella esperaba, de vez en cuando ella me llamaba, me invitaba y yo arrancaba. No me importaba casi nada, esa es mi hija, la única que era. Ella sabía, trabajaba en la plaza Lama, antes de la sirena, él la lleva a donde ella quiera, caminando al lado de ella. Ella me amaba, ella se instalaba, agarraba una guagua, ella le pegaba, y él le pegaba, ella en el momento que cruzaba, afuera yo estaba, metiendo guayaba, a mi niña le pegaba, estaba en mi bicicleta, caminaba con ella maneja, camino detrás de ella, le canto a ella, ella borinqueña, mitad panameña, se crió en Cuba, y viajaba a Puerto Rico, se enamora de mí, yo me la llevo pasando domingo, y vaya conmigo, mi amor, dame conmigo, y la cosa que te digo, cuando yo le improviso, esta música mi amor, la tiene la de casarte conmigo, casarte conmigo, ella sabe, el amor a ella, se sabe, toda la gente se lo dice, y yo a ella, lo mismo le dije, mami, porque te fuiste, Oye, este es el mambo que tú quieres, cógelo para ti, mi amor, yo te lo voy a regalar de mi corazón. Oye, mi amor, ¿qué fue lo que te pasó? Todos los días yo te grabo más canciones. Yo quiero que tú tenga lo que da en mi corazón. Vamos a llegar, mi amor, no hay más nada. Te voy a enamorar. Cuando te vea, te voy a decir la verdad. Tú eres mi Eva, yo te quiero de verdad. Tú eres mi diamante, yo soy tu sortija. Vámonos para allá, para la playa, amiga. Tú y yo, mi amor, yo te quiero demostrar que yo a ti te voy a amar por una eternidad. Tú eres mi Eva, mi hembra, mi princesa, tú eres mi reina. Esa es mi Eva y yo la quiero. Vámonos a la guerra, a toda cualquiera. Por esa hembra, esa es mi corazón, mi vida entera. Este es mi amor te lo voy a enseñar. Con mi lírica yo te voy a improvisar. Mi amor, voy para acá. Si tú quieres bailar, yo sé la verdad que tú quieres janguear. Vamos a manejar pa' Boca Chica. Vamos a drive esta máquina descapotable. Tú y yo, tú la puedes manejar. Yo me di un trago y yo quiero fumar. Esa es mi Eva. Quien quiere guerra, mato a quien sea. Porque mi hembra es mi princesa. Ella es mi reina y yo la quiero. Que tú entiendas, no te metas con esa Eva. No trate de joder con ella. Ella me quiere y yo la quiero de verdad. Todos los días yo le voy a enseñar. Tú tienes mi alma, de ti eres la llama, el papacala. De la escuela donde ella trabajaba, de ti estaba, él ordenaba, café con papa, él jangueaba, él trataba de hablar más su familia entera. Ellos no querían que yo me casara con ella, pero esa es mi princesa, mi Eva. Ella se me entera, el tigre siempre, el que le espera. Yo lo voy afuera, en esta máquina esperando a mi Eva. Esa es mi reina, ella es mi princesa. La que yo quiero, no te metas con ella. Esa es mi alma, mi vida entera. Tú sabes de ella. Ella es mi Eva y yo la quiero por la vida entera. Mira la Caribe, ella se menea. Le encanta mi música, ella se aprende con mi letra. Esa es mi Eva, mi princesa, esa es mi reina, no joda con ella. Este tigre de guerra mata a cualquiera, por esa Eva la amo mi vida entera. Tú sabes, que esta vida, exactamente. Ella dominicana, ella puertorriqueña, una cubana, una princesa, ella sabía que era una reina. Yo me enamoré de ella, porque yo no sabía señalar hasta que aprenda que juegue con mi pregunta. Mi corazón no prenda, posesión que ella empeña, no pegue, solta y arena, que tú sabes que tú eres mi morena. Yo la agarro con la cadera, ella se menea, y yo la amo a ella, y por ella me juego, vamos a la guerra. Ten mucho cuidado lo que se habla de mi Eva. campesina, exactamente lo que yo quería. Ella es mi vida y yo la quiero que me dé una hija. Yo decía que yo la quería. A mí se me importa la mierda que hable mi familia. A mí se me importa la crítica de la comunidad. Que me envidia por mi herida. Una campesina princesa de mi vida. Una reina exactamente lo que yo quería. Que se joda mi familia y que se joda la vecina. No te hablen mal de la princesa mía, porque esa Eva es mía. Esa mujer es mía, donde ella esté, hay que respetarla. Tenga mucho cuidado con usted, vaya a tratarla. Esa mujer es mía, una campesina, lo que yo quería en mi vida. Yo le decía en la iglesia cuando rezaba por hacerla mía. Tú sabes, que en esta vida, no es exactamente la bella dominicana que ya puertorriqueña mexicana, una cubana, una princesa, ella sabía que era una reina. Yo me enamoré de ella porque ella no sabía señalar hasta que aprenda que juegue con mi pregunta. Mi corazón no tendrá posesión que ella empeña. No juegues solta y haré que tú sabes que tú eres mi morena. Yo la agarro con la cadera, ella se me lea. Yo la amo a ella y por ella me juego. Vamos para la guerra. Ten mucho cuidado, no que se habla de mi Eva. Campesina, exactamente lo que yo quería. Ella es mi vida y yo la quiero que me dé una hija. Yo decía porque yo la quería. A mí se me importa la mierda que hable mi familia. A mí se me importa la crítica de la comunidad. Que me envidia por mi herida. Una campesina princesa de mi vida. Una reina exactamente lo que yo quería. Que se joda mi familia y que se joda la vecina. No te hablen mal de la princesa mía, porque esa Eva es mía. Esa mujer es mía, donde ella esté, hay que respetarla. Tenga mucho cuidado con usted, vaya a tratarla. Esa mujer es mía, una campesina, lo que yo quería en mi vida. Yo le decía en la iglesia cuando rezaba por hacerla mía. A mí no me importa lo que digan, después que tú sepas que tú eras siempre mi vida. A mí yo te quería Ya tú sabes que yo voy a caminar la tierra entera hasta que pueda volver a verla. A mí, donde tú estás, donde voy a buscar, tengo que encontrar, quiera que ella se pueda salir para la calle buscando a mi reina, donde está ella. Yo no sabía que ella se iba para Santiago con su familia. Yo la veía cuando se iba, pero no sabía lo que ella hacía. Escribía una cartilla, se la daba la vecina, me decía cuando veía la lágrima que salía de mi carita, llorando por el alma mía. Yo no pensaba que podía pasar una cosa así en mi vida, pero esa fue la verdad, que ella se iba a entrar. Yo te voy a buscar, yo te voy a encontrar, a donde tú te puedas colocar. Mami, ¿dónde tú estás? Te voy a buscar, te voy a encontrar, donde tú puedas colocar mi alma, donde tú estás. Yo te voy a buscar, tú sabes dónde me voy a encontrar. Yo te voy a buscar por allá donde tú puedas colocar mi alma, mami, donde tú estás. Yo te voy a buscar, te tengo que encontrar en cualquier lugar que tú puedas colocar mi alma. Mami, ya tú sabes que yo cojo pa' allá, después que yo sepa dónde tú vas, coge la guagua, yo te voy a esperar allá cerca de Cañaveral. Te voy a regalar chocolate y caña, pa' que tú sepas cuánto él te ama. Tú no entiendes, la vaina se daña, pero tú sabes que en realidad él te ama. Por favor, llévate lo que yo tengo en mi corazón. Por favor, llévate lo que yo tengo en mi corazón. Róbame el alma, 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 róbame el alma. Mi amor, yo te quiero, mi corazón, levante todo lo que quiero. En mi corazón yo sufro, todos los días me arrepiento lo que pasó entre tú y yo, pero en mi alma, en mi corazón, yo pienso solo en tu amor. Llévame el alma, róbame 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 el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Yo espero que mi palabra camine donde tú vayas, mi amor. Todos los días yo sueño estar contigo en ese río, el campito, tú y yo. Pero acepto que Diosito no quiere que tú seas mi amorcito. Mi amor, cada palabra que yo a ti te digo es porque te quiero de verdad. Tú eres mía por una eternidad. Por ti, mi amor, no voy a rezar. Me tengo que ir sin mirar para atrás. Yo sé que tú vas a despegar el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Róbame el alma, róbame el alma. Vete. Mic check 1, 2, baby. Venom. Ya tú sabes, you know who I are. Gracias, Dios mío, que tú siempre estás conmigo. Gracias, Dios mío, que tú siempre estás conmigo. Esta bendición que Dios a mí me dio, yo te la voy a devolver en una canción. Te deseo a ti lo mejor, que tu camino haya prosperamiento, para adelante el hecho. Cuando estaba chiquito era un malachol, yo estaba afuera joseando en mi chol. Yo tenía esa vaina, que fue lo que él compró. ¿Qué tú estás buscando? Yo lo estoy afuera joseando. Todos los días a mí me estaban llamando. Cuidado, que la policía me está buscando. Pero cuando estaban llegando, todo se estaba acabando. Yo estoy despegando, jangueando con mi jevita. Ya yo estoy fumando. Todo este dinero yo lo estoy contando. Como la vida está cambiando, yo estoy disfrutando, al paso grabando, me estoy entreteniendo, ocupando con algo que es un poquito más positivo. Ya yo no tengo que josear el día enterito, de domingo a domingo. Dios está conmigo, a tu disco, quema tu vaina, sácaselo a los chamaquitos. Yo era un niño, en la calle creído. Yo no sabía la vida de los martillos. Mira cómo Dios a mí me habló, me guió. Me aconsejaron a mí cuando yo era un niño, un chamaquito. Deja la calle, deja ese martillo. La 45, deja de estar disparando los tiros. Solamente peleando por los kilos. Tú sabes que eso es solamente un kilo. Tu vida tiene que cambiar, tu flow. Es como Kylo Ren, la espada se prendió. Cuida con tu que está en el medio, él lo macheteó. Como su vida cambió cuando él se sentó y pensó. Esto lo acontecimiento que a él le dieron congruentemente. Él pensó, su vida cambió y él rezó, a la iglesia llegó con su mujerón. Esa jevita, él se lo reveló, ella lo enfocó y lo enseñó a él a cambiar su vida y él lo goció. Solamente con su música él grabó y tú sabes, un día el tigre llegó a vender par de millones de sus canciones. Y en la calle todos los malones muertos se fueron. Venom Mark 1, baby. Espero que tú puedas entender, mi amor, como tú destruiste todo mi corazón. Solamente yo te doy mi perdón en una canción. Espero que tú te recuerdes todo ese momento, como que se pasaba el tiempo y todo se movía lento. Y yo rolando mi violento, la competencia talento, no pueden conmigo, yo sí tengo talento, tocando mi música, viajando el mundo entero, dejándole saber lo que yo quiero, mi mujer y mi dinero. Tú sabes que yo soy el mero mero, tú sabes que yo siempre hago lo que quiero, no me da vergüenza nada, tú sabes porque esto es lo real. Mi vida tiene que reflexionar, un momento que ya me iba a traicionar. Yo solamente quería que ella me dijera la verdad. Ella no pudo ni hablar, no me pudo jamás ver la cara. A los ojos no la puedo observar, porque yo sé que eso no es verdad. Porque ella me decía, cuando ella decía que me quería, ella no quería que yo recuperara mi vida o mi libertad. Todos los días ella hablaba mal de mí con mis hijas y la envidia que ella tenía adentro de la silla mía, que era el odio que ella tenía. Eso ella se lo regalaba a la niña mía. Y mis hijas crecían pensando que yo no la quería, pero mis hijas no sabían. Su mamá me tenía envidia, no quería que yo hiciera mi vida, y yo rezaba por ella en la iglesita con la biblecita. Ella no pensaba en mi vida, lo que yo sufría, solamente porque yo la quería todos los días. Yo pensaba en mis hijas, pero yo no la tenía. Yo no podía pasar ni por donde sufría a ver a las hijas mías, porque ella fue y buscó una orden de protección, de restricción, que si yo venía ella puede llamar al 911. Y después yo tengo que buscar dinero para un abogado, venga en la corte. Es mejor que la perdone. A mí me aconsejaron. Ya yo lo sé, que tú no me quieres. Ya yo lo sé, que tú no me quieres. Mi amor, ya yo lo sé. Ya yo lo sé. Que a mí tú no me quieres. Con la que te estoy hablando, porque ya yo soy presidente. Tú sabes que yo estoy corriendo, la competencia está demasiado corriente. Presente, ¿dónde está mi gente? Yo presenté lo que él siente adentro de su mente. Soy un demente, líricamente yo te enseñé. Vamos a hablar la verdad, pero vergüenza la vaina, la mierda que yo veía, papá, en la televisión. En realidad, esa vaina es de verdad. Yo te voy a enseñar, solamente yo te vengo a escuchar, te analizar, mamá, yo sé la verdad. Tú dices que tú me quieres, pero a mí no me querías de verdad. Eso era mentira. Era envidia que ella tenía de mi vida. y le dolía que yo iba a llegar. Ella me hacía llorar, sé la verdad. Ella me hacía llorar y yo buscaba y paraba. Yo me buscaba, ¿qué pasaba? Mi vida cambiaba. A ella no le importaba lo que me pasaba. Cuando afuera yo estaba, como mataba por esa Eva que me ignoraba y yo me daba. Buena noticia. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. The white sun flag for you, baby. White Ranger. Dedication. Dedicación, y eso sabe. Lo que yo tengo una dedicación. Ya tú sabes. Que yo sufro por ti. Yo sufro. Ya tú sabes. Que yo sufro por ti. Ya tú sabes. Que yo sufro por ti. Ella sabe lo que yo estoy sufriendo, todos los días lo que yo estoy haciendo. Estoy en el estudio con mi asiento, grabando todos los días, yo me entiendo. Tú sabes que yo tengo que expresar lo que tengo adentro, el trabajo de mi alma, solamente para que tú sepas que yo te quiero a ti. Te dije que te iba a dedicar con mi poesía, cada vez que yo vaya a armonizar, cuando te vaya a cantar. Tú quieres que yo vaya a tocar para allá, para la Sabana Larga, en Samaná, vámonos ven para atrás, van a ver la santa, yo voy a tocar, mami, yo te voy a enseñar quién es el peor de verdad, pero tú sabes, contigo yo tengo que coronar. Tú sabes la verdad, tú sabes cómo yo me siento en mi alma, la forma que yo te voy a improvisar es para que tú sepas lo que yo tengo adentro para ti. Por ti, mami, ya tú sabes, ya tú lo sabes, lo que yo sufro por ti, lo que yo sufro por ti, sufriendo, mami, ya tú sabes, lo que yo sufro por ti, lo que yo sufro por ti, mami, ya tú sabes. Mama, I don't want to lose you, ain't trying to confuse you. I just want you to know that I bought that cool. I just want to do me. I know that you're doing what you gotta do. I just want to make moves. I just want it to be cool between me and you. Do you understand that love is just a fool? Mama wanted to use me like a tool, and then let me go. I know what you're gonna do. You just gonna break my heart. Then you going back to your friends about all of my bars. You gonna show them all of my scars and my tattoo representing my squad. Yo me enamoré de ti hace mucho tiempo, pero te estaba respetando, tú sabes. Como Mark Anthony dice, todo a su tiempo. Todo a su tiempo. Todo a su tiempo, todo a su tiempo, a su tiempo, el tiempo de Dios es perfecto. Tú sabes, mi amor, cuando yo te quiero, por eso todos los días después de la escuela yo te espero. Y yo tranquilo, tú sabes, sin tener dinero, pero con mi número tengo al mundo entero. Ella sabe que yo la amo de verdad, jamás nunca la voy a poder reemplazar. Que ninguna otra jeva venga a cambiar lo que yo siento por ella. Porque cuando yo no tenía nada, era mi jeva que me venía a apoyar. El amor que él iba a necesitar, solamente su jeva se lo iba a dar. Ella tenía que demostrar que ella me quería de verdad. Mucho examen la puse a pasar y toda la prueba ella capta. La vaina que yo le decía de mi vida, cuánto yo sufría. A veces se salían las lágrimas mías, todavía estaban frías pensando en mi vida. Esa es la vaina de la historia mía. Yo no sabía lo que la vida me tenía. Dios era mi guía, cada paso que yo daba, a mi lado estaba la jeva mía. Yo encontré el mundo entero, mi jeva, mi hijo, mi familia. Yo sabía que me tenían envidia y que la industria enterita no me quería dar ni una entrevista. No querían saber la verdad de mi vida, de mi talento, y me decían que algún día me iban a escribir ese cheque para yo mantener a mi familia. Yo era joven, 17 años tenía, yo le creía, yo no sabía lo que era sabiduría, yo no sabía lo que era una iglesia y una Biblia. Yo sabía de la esquina lo que se necesitaba para yo comprar un par de ladrillas para buscarme metiéndole mucha milla. Tú sabes, esa M5, si el problema dispara a las 55, dentro de esas 45, cuidado que esa vaina te brinca, te hinca. Cógelo suave, panita, tú no entiendes la cosa de mi vida, que yo vivía, lo que yo tenía dentro del alma mía. Llora alma mía, ahora su sufrimiento él te destila. Y todos los días mundialmente escuchan la música mía. Ustedes no pueden conmigo, esa es la verdad, esa es la verdad.
Oye, ¿dónde está la mueca? Oye, ¿dónde está la mueca? Mueca, mi mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. La mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. Mueca, mi mueca. La mueca, mueca, mi mueca. What to say? Mami, coge para allá. La mueca, mi mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mi mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mueca, la mueca, mi mecua. Tú me enseñas esa vaina, se me te debo de tú sabes que es sabrosa, se pone esa jeva. Mami, coge pa' acá, mami, ponte mueca. No te puedo enseñar, no puedo vaina. Mira, esa mueca es mía, mira, esa mueca es tuya, mira, esa mueca es mía, mira, esa mueca es tuya. La mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía. Tu mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca de mi vida, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, la mueca de mi vida, la mueca, la mueca, mueca mía, la mueca, la mueca, tu mecua, la mecua, la mecua mía. Venom. Ando con boca verdad, de será para acá, de verdad, como la partida, es la verdad, en una hoguera, la verdad, una hora, una vaina, una tala que venga, una saque, un poquito más, no puedo buscar, yo quiero aquí, de pasar, tú sabes que me encanta, tú me encanta, nunca bailar, tú sabes que yo vine a venir, esa vaina que sabe fuera, se te pega, esa vaina, vamos para afuera. Parece que yo vengo de China, parece que yo vengo de China, parece que yo vengo de China, parece que yo vengo de China. Que no era nada, no sabes que yo barajaba, tú sabes que esa vida, que a mí me barajaba, yo me la buscaba, yo la llamaba, ella me bailaba, a mí me cantaba, ella me coqueteaba, yo le decía que yo la amaba, ella me pegaba, yo me pegaba, ella le buscaba, yo me cantaba, yo le buscaba, yo me rapeaba, yo le buscaba, ella me coqueteaba, yo me dejaba en esa máquina, vamos a quitarle la capota, vamos a quitarle la lanza. Sabes que la urba va, yo sé cómo entrar, esa máquina, yo le decía a ella, que no va a eternar, parece que yo vengo de China, 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 en esta maquinita mía. Yo siempre con mi jevita, a veces fumando mi jevita. ¿Dónde está la mamá Juanita? Parece que yo vengo de China.
ser mía, rubiecita morenita. Ella tiene que ser mía, rubiecita morenita. Parece que yo vengo de China. Ella es la gata, leona. Ella es la gata, ella es la gata, leona. Ella es la gata, leona. Ella es la gata, leona. Ella es la gata. Si es gangsta, ella lo sabe. Ella quiere hallarle. Los días vamos a llamarla. Ella puede bailar. Tú ves algo, tú vas a ver. Como yo vaya me la lleve. Ella quiere janguear conmigo. Desde el otro viernes que yo llegué. En mi maguete, con mi jevita, llamamos chale. Y la bailé. Y la enseñé. La giré cuando yo la volteé. Me coge para acá, que tú quieres. Tú quieres bailar, mami, tú quieres beber. Tú quieres fumar, yo fumé de lleno. Tú quieres fumar, voy con él. Tú tienes que ser fiel. Porque si no me pongo como Fidel. Ella sabe que yo quiero de piel. Tú sabes la sangre de él, caliente, a mi gente. Tú sabes que yo soy el nuevo presidente, caliente, a mi gente. Tú sabes que yo soy el nuevo presidente. Yo estoy jangueando con ella, dando un trago. Yo estoy jangueando con ella. Ella me agarró, yo la jalo por la cadera. Me le estoy pegando, yo la jalo por la cadera. Y me le estoy pegando, ella me está pescando, ella me está quemando. Esta tipa me está enamorando, ella me está pegando, ella me está peleando. Esta tipa me está enamorando, ella me está pegando, ella me está peleando. Esta tipa me está enamorando, ella me está pegando, ella se está peleando. Ella me está enamorando, yo estoy tirando lo como digo. Ella lo está recordando, ella es la forma que yo a ella solo le estaba improvisando. Ella le estaba gustando las canciones que yo le canto. Como yo estoy agonizando, es que la vaina la estoy cambiando. Estoy brillando y los tigres me están odiando. Se están guiando, pero yo no estoy parando. Todos los días yo le saco mi nuevo mando. El juego entero lo cambio. ¿Qué está pasando? El juego entero yo lo cambio. ¿Qué está pasando? Estamos desconectados, activados. 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 Sabes que yo soy mi amor. Sabes que yo soy. Para allá, para Capotillo, no me permito, vamos a fumar tranquilo, mi amor, un tabaquito, no me pones ciego, yo te brillo, pero de verdad, mi amor, yo te quiero bailar, por favor, mi amor, hazme mueca, mi amor, yo te quiero bailar, por favor, hazme mueca, mi amor, yo te quiero bailar, por favor, mami, hazme mueca, mi amor, yo te quiero bailar, mi amor, hazme mueca, ella se me queda, una botella, no sabe que estamos jugando, pero yo estoy jangueando con ella, es una idea, noche entera, casi una semana entera, estamos contigo, fuera la noche entera, y no sabe la entera, tú sabes que yo le la veo a ella, mira como mensaje hace entera, me hace mueca, y yo la abrazo. Cada vez que estamos bailando, Yo vine aquí a buscar cuarto, no sé qué cuarto. Venom on one. Dembo,
Vámonos, vamos, la única, la única. Quiere ver la única. Como suave, vamos para allá, sabe. Vamos a despegar, vamos a enseñar. Que no pueden conmigo, vamos a despegar, vamos a enseñar. Que no pueden conmigo, vamos a enseñar, vamos a despegar. Que no pueden conmigo, vamos a enseñar, vamos a despegar. Que no pueden conmigo. Yo mía, vamos a cambiar cuarto. Vamos a buscar los chelitos. Los chelitos. 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 Yo estoy buscando dinero. Sabe lo que yo quiero. Aquí estamos tranquilos, buscando la noche entera. Aquí estamos afuera, ando a puro cuero. Mami, ¿qué te pasa? Yo ya me entero. Yo la saco, la estoy bailando, enamorando, la estoy pegando, la estoy platicando, la estoy bailando, la estoy emocionando, la estoy cantando. Vamos a buscar, vamos a buscar, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, todo chelito, todo chelito, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, todo chelito, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, 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 todo chelito, todo chelito, todo chelito, todo chelito, todo chelito, vamos a buscar, todo chelito.
Said it was too expensive, so for Black Friday, we answered 61% off our functional coffee. Not enough? Fine.
That's what it is. And people might be like, you know, you'd be better off if every song had a 4-week rollout and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm a person. I don't want to do 4-week rollout and you drop. How many songs is that in the fucking
12?
That's like 12 songs. I'm like, dude, I want to drop a bunch of different stuff. I'm bilingual. I sing, I rap. I can make a corrido, like I can make a mariachi, like I can make a R&B, like I can make a drill song. I can make the shit go from reggaeton to drill to fucking, you know, dembow. Like, why not?
Yo, I appreciate you coming, man.
Thank you.
This is dope.
Thank you.
So product in the building.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
I had to invite you. Listen, I'm a fan of everything that you've done with your career. It's actually incredible. And it's like, I talk about this a lot. And where it's just like, there's the music industry and then there's the music business. And like, if you want to go and depend on other people and like you think that you got to go and do whatever, it's like, cool. Like there's the music industry, but then there's individuals like yourself who are really understand the music business. And like, you've really built something phenomenal with your family and like for your fans, which is dope. I love the fact that like your cousin and your brother are super involved in the business.
Yeah.
You know, like I just think that you're a great example of that. And I think like people will talk about the Russes of the world and the LaRusses of the world, right? But like, you know, as a female artist who's also dope, you're also doing something very similar to what they're doing, and you just built this incredible world. So like, just congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It's fire.
Thank you so much.
So first of all, can you just kind of like tell me a little bit of like, how does the operation work with your brother and your cousin? Like, there's no manager there. It's just the three of you guys just like figuring this out, right?
Yeah. Since I mean, even whether there has been a manager or not, or the label or not, or wherever we've distributed or whatever, like always the core has been my brother, my cousin, and me. You know, a couple friends, and it really comes from like we had to. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of just like we did what we could with what we had. Like I'm not gonna say everything was perfect, but like you know what I'm saying? Like from the beginning when we were messing up the merch and like. I think like 2 years ago, I think somebody showed up with a shirt and I knew it was one of the first ones we printed because it looked so, I was like, really? I know you're a fan. Yeah. Like to like a meet and greet. And I was like, like I have a special appreciation for people who like supported when we were learning how to screen print and we put too much plastisol on a shirt or something. So it's like, you got the design that looks like a brick. And I'm like, I know for a fact, like you're, you know what I'm saying, like you're a day one.
That's
So stuff like that, or like our I used to like sell CDs on the street, so I only printed a certain amount. So people that have those, it's like I sold that like on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like you definitely have that. So I think I think we just did what we could with what we had. We kept on moving. I've hit a lot of roadblocks, a lot of like, failures, but I had my guys with me, and like grateful that they cared. You know what I'm saying? Like they gave a fuck enough.
How important is that? The part where, because I tell people this all the time. They ask me like, well, how do I find a manager? I'm like, yo, you should just look at people like who are in your circle of like friends and people that you trust and they fuck with you, and like there's genuine love. That'll be better than like the biggest manager in the world, because the biggest manager in the world is not even gonna have time for you because they got the other artists that they came into the business with.
Yep. A lot of managers they want to acquire you. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people in this industry, like the pitch is great. The acquisition of a product and being like, okay, cool, got that under my belt. But the actual doing the work, they'll throw you to like an assistant or whatever. And it's like, you are better off, at least if you're gonna do the work and you're really gonna go to fan, with people that give a fuck about you. Also, you're gonna spend all this time. Like I also come from this as a passion project, like it's like I was gonna spend all this time with my brother and my cousin, like with my family. I am a family oriented person. I love to feel, safe at home with my family. So it's like if I'm already gonna be there, we might as well build around that feeling, that comfort, that trust, that, you know what I'm saying? Like it feels fun. There's times when we're just like doing stupid shit at the house and that's when an idea comes up, and then we're like, all right, let's try this, and you're just tinkering, and it's like the journey, the closeness, the funny times. That's what it's all about, and that's what you're hitting the road with. You know what I'm saying? It's easy for somebody to get on the phone and be like, do this, do that, do that, but like when these are the people that I'm gonna be on the road with every day, and like we're in the bunks in the bus, and you know what I'm saying? You know how it goes. Like something goes wrong. These are the people that you're fucking arguing with or whatever. Like you go through so much like good and bad that at some point, you
wanted to be around the people that know you and that you care to be around. Right?
I'm not anti-manager. I'm not anti-label. I just feel like I owe it to the people that are there 24/7 that are really there to like for somebody to be as all in as me. And if they're not, then it's like it makes it very like lopsided, to work together.
I agree with what you said right there, because I think people think that I'm also anti-label, but I'm not. I'm not at all. Like, I mean, if it serves you for your purpose and what you're trying to achieve, cool. Like, it's not for everybody, but it can be for some artists and some teams. But the difference is that like, I always had this thing where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, a label can say, or somebody at the label, like a product manager, can have the conversation with me, and they can be like, "This is what we think you should do," and I'm like, "Yo, I appreciate where you're coming from, but this is why I think this is not right. And the reason why I think that this isn't right is because I think about this 24/7. You think about this 1 hour in a week in your staff meeting, and then you come and you have that conversation with me. Like, something doesn't equate to me in that sense. So, like,
and well, at least for me, in my experience back in those days, like, you might also just have an intern, or you might have like, like a product manager that like they have their own special preferences where like every weekend, after they clock out from that label job, they go out to the parties out in, wherever, and they're rubbing elbows with like certain people, and like they think these people, but you're their product, but
oh, wait a minute. I apologize. I have the live feed on both. Let me take this off, because if not, it's gonna have latency. There we go.
That you think is gonna be the coolest guy around, and it's like, okay, that's cool.
Up. I see where the mistake is.
So I can find people for my team that
I got you. Hold on. I gotta do it the long way.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's not gonna have the same taste. Everybody's not gonna get
this one. That's the issue. Oh, okay. That one could stay. That one don't matter. There we go.
Signed Atlantic in 2012.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right, and then you were there until 2018.
Yeah.
But before that, you guys were on the independent grind. How did that come about? Where like was it your brother that was in the picture first? Was it your cousin? Or was like, how did you know that? Like, oh, you know what, we can do this together?
When I started doing my music from the jump, instead of like going and like paying for too much studio time or anything, like I bought a rack, like a DJI or the 00 whatever 002 rack, right? So then I got that, and then I got a computer, and then I got Reason, and I would make my little beats, even though they sucked, but like I would make them, from scratch, and then I would record on them, and then we made a booth in my house, and like I always kind of wanted to like just make my own music because it was fun. It was literally just an escape for me. Like that's it. So
you didn't think of it as a career, like that you
at
could
the
make it a
beginning,
career?
no.
Wow.
I mean, who's the other Mexican American female rapper that raps like me? Like at that time, I was kind of like looking
Like
for.
it's not even like you don't have anybody to look at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking to like Miss Lauryn Hill and like Missy Elliott and Eve and Brat,
Right.
but I was just like, does this even happen for some Mexican chick from, you know what I'm saying? Like
trying to rap.
Yeah, and
Right.
my family thought, go to college, like focus on
like
something
all
else.
Latino parents.
Exactly. So I was just like, I don't know, whatever. But I'll do my little thing. And when I was a teenager, my mom had said something. She was like, you quit everything you do. Like you try everything and you always quit like everything. So I was like, next thing I do, I'm not gonna quit. And literally just happened to be rap. Like literally, like it could have been anything. I could have like been a dolphin trainer or something, but like no, it just so happened to be right. I would have been
in the water.
Yeah, I was like, that was like my
she said
my
dolphin
moment to be like,
She's
I'm
cool,
gonna show them
I
all.
like her.
And they hated rap, and I was just like, all right, cool. And it literally just kind of started to happen. I would watch my little videos on YouTube about, you know what I'm saying, like how to do it, and like Ludacris, like tell it like it is, or tell it. Yeah, I think it's
the record, a song.
Yeah, he says like sign yourself to yourself and trademark your name and blah blah. So I literally listened to that exact like to the T.
That's crazy.
I heard that song and I was just like, I did everything he said, and I was just like, so when I met him,
full circle, you worked together.
Yeah, and when I met him, I was like you're the reason that I was able to actually get my business like together. So by the time that I always looked like I was doing it more official and like bigger than I really was, but it was just because like I kind of had my shit. I'm a girl, so like I paid attention to little details that would make it look better, like made sure that the CD, like I wanted to do the flyers and the posters and all that. That's how, to answer your question, my cousin, he was like, I like your mixtapes. He's like, send me some. And I was giving them away at the beginning, but he was like pressing them and selling them. And I was like, okay, well, shit. I mean, if you're selling them, I don't care. Like, that's cool. So he was getting my stuff out there, posters, just kind of.
Harley just hit on Hard Rock Bet. You withdraw yet? When he's already in my accounts. It's almost as fast as the valet. I mean, it is tailored furniture.
Got your car, boys.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if you win.
I'm about to reveal a snoring fix that most women over 40 don't know. This is what your throat looks like when you're snoring. You want to take that from this to this. Nose strips? Nose strips do a great job of opening up your nasal passages, but it's not your nose that's the problem.
I apologize for that.
I don't know, just out the trunk, like
just helping you,
yeah,
get the business. Well, and you don't even know at this point that you're like, it's a business. I mean, like, but you just put the music on, getting some bread. You know what I mean? Like a little bit.
I mean, barely.
Yeah.
Trying, going to little showcases, like trying to see what I can get popping. It wasn't very promising at the beginning, but I don't know. I just kind of had nothing else, really.
Yeah. I hear that. All right, everybody, we're going to take a little break. Because if you're listening and thinking, fuck, I could really use some guidance right now, and you're serious about building your career in the music industry, I'm now offering private strategy sessions. These are fully personalized, just you and me tackling whatever you need in your career. With over 16 years of experience working with artists, managers, and brands, I can help you map out your next moves. Now, whether that's structuring your team, scaling your brand, navigating the industry, even figuring out what steps to take, whether to go to a distributor or to a record label and figuring out what are the best deal points. I can help you with your career with where you're at. You can now book a one-on-one with me through my Calendly, and you can find a link in the description. Now let's get back to the pod. And then when your brother came in, like when did you start getting involved?
Well, my brother was living in San Diego. I had moved to Texas. And by that time, my mom at the time was kind of going through it,
Mhm.
and I had a house, so I was like, you could come live with me, you know, like there's extra rooms. So she moves in, she brings my, I'm chopping it up with my brother. He's in high school, and I'm like, bro, what are you gonna do when you grow up? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mom kicked me out young, so I'm like, I'm surprised you're still, you know, like not out the house. And he was like, I don't know. That's when the math. Sorry, that's an inside joke, but he was like, I don't know, I like math, and I was like, what are you gonna be, like a math wizard? Like, what are you gonna do with math? And he was like, I don't know. And then eventually, I don't know, he said he might pick up a camera, and I was like, bet, like, let's do that.
Come shoot, yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing, but he knows what the fuck he's doing now. Like,
Hell yeah.
you know,
No,
that's it.
I mean, the dopest shit about what you do, and we've talked about this off camera, like, and I have to say as well too, like, I'll be like so real with you. I was like, when I started to see that you were liking the post and following, I was like, damn, some of the products paying attention to this. I was like, that's dope. I'm like, wow, this is it's starting to resonate with, and I'm like, but I also thought in my mind, I'm like, you're an independent artist that really has their business together. And I was actually, it was exciting to see that you were following and paying attention and liking certain things, because it validated the things that I was talking about on social media, right? And we talked about this a little bit, and we brought it up earlier. It's just like, I'm somebody who just believes that quality is important, but I think quantity is important, just as important as well.
Yeah.
What I've seen, like what you guys do with your cousin and your brother and you, is just, there's a lot of Sonoda product out there, no pun intended.
Yeah.
But I never feel like it's for the sake of just being out there. There's always intention behind it. There's intentionality behind the content, behind the music, behind the podcast. Yeah, sometimes like your podcasts are like, you know, you're shooting shit and you're talking about traumas that you say, but putting a comedic spin on it. But there's value in all these things that you're doing.
Yeah.
I love how you've been able to like really build this world around you and everything that you do. So talk to me a little bit about that, because how do you even have the time to do all of this stuff? Because it seems like so much.
I guess that's what I'm saying about like doing the stuff with like my family there at the house. You know, you gotta come by and see it. It's like,
I'd love to.
It's you know, it's all there. Like, it's all in the same spot. So it's like, it's easy for me. Like, we have a setup that, you know how like your setup, like you have the setup and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, for us, it's like the setup is there, like 24/7. It's there. So it's like I go and I sit down, and it's like my brother fires up the stuff and goes, but that's the same place where he edits. And then in the next room, you know, that's where I do some of the Twitch, and then I have my music video. Yeah. I have my my studio next to it as well, and then the merch is down, you know, in another building, and then but all of this stuff is like right next to my house. Yeah, it's all like right there. So it's like I could ADHD out and like run around different buildings in my place, and like it's all just there. And because we're family and we like enjoy it, it doesn't always feel like work. There's obviously some stress sometimes, but I don't know. I'm assuming we like it, right? I'm like, I'm looking at my brother. I'm like, is this great? I don't know. It is to me. I love it.
It sounds like it. I mean, like, that's almost a dream. I'm like, you're able to work with your family and do the thing that you love to do, right?
Yeah, you know, and it's like, yeah, it's 4 acres and it's like 7 different buildings. So you just kind of get to, there's a studio over there, and then, you know, I have like my LED wall and my trailers and the tour bus and like, you know, Sprinter, and it's like all these things.
You own a tour bus?
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, for example, right now we're getting ready for the spring tour. Okay, the tour bus is going and getting checked out on everything.
Oh, that's so smart.
Well,
yeah, to own a tour bus.
Yeah.
Because like the price of tour buses now.
Oh, they'd be crazy.
Crazy.
They'd be crazy. Yeah. You buy a tour bus. Yeah, it comes with a lot of fucking trouble and a lot of things, but you learn it. Everything that we've been doing, we learn it. And to me, I'm someone that, like, if I get bored, I get depressed.
Okay.
Like, so it's like, it's almost for my mental health and for my sanity to like always be learn.
Let's get fiscal. Lesson 1, savings strike. New to finances, learn to map.
Round two, fight! You win. Perfect. Round three, fight! You win. Perfect. Round one, fight! You win. Round two, fight! You win.
Boss, sell me a diagnostic scanner for $1,000.
Round one, fight! You've been perfect. Round two, fight. You've been perfect. Round one, fight. Round two, fight. You've been perfect. Round three,
What's in here with the cold? Let's see what Domino's has in store for us today.
Right now at Domino's.
round one, fight. You win. Round two, fight. You win. Perfect. Round one, fight. You win. Round two, fight. Round three, fight.
Round one. Fight! Oh, you get
Today in the workshop, we're testing a PlayStation 3 controller with an ESP32. You'll see how we can make the controller with the ESP32 and use it to control LEDs, motors, and a lot more. I'll also show you my robot car development base. We're not playing games today, so welcome to the workshop. Well, hello and welcome to the workshop. And today in the workshop, we're going to be playing with one of these. And yes, this is a video game controller. It's a clone of the controller for the Sony PlayStation 3. But no, we aren't going to be playing video games. In fact, I don't even know how to play video games as I've never played any. And I haven't owned one of these until about 4 days ago. But I'm very glad I bought it because you can also use this controller with an ESP32 and pretty well control anything that you can connect to an ESP32, which is a lot of different things. And today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use this amazing library with the ESP32 and mate it with this game controller and see what it is that we can control. Now, as I said, I don't play video games. I can't tell you how to blast aliens or build empires with this, but one thing I can tell you is how the Sony PlayStation 3 controller works. So let's go and take a look at that before we get started. The Sony PlayStation 3, or PS3, was originally released in 2006. The PS3 controller can also be referred to as a 6-axis or DualShock 3 controller. This is an updated version of the previous controller, which was referred to as a DualShock 2, and one of the updates includes a number of motion sensors. There have been many different controller updates since its original 2006 release. The PS3 controller and console use Bluetooth for communications. The protocol being used is Bluetooth HID, or Human Interface Device Protocol. This is the same protocol used for Bluetooth mice and keyboards. To connect the controller to a console requires a pairing operation in which both the controller and the console exchange their individual MAC addresses. The PS3 controller stores the console MAC address in a non-volatile RAM. The controller sends both joystick and button state data to the console, and it can also receive data for its internal rumble motors from the console. Now here's the layout of a typical PS3 controller. On the far left side, you can see 4 buttons which are mechanically connected together. These are known as the directional pad or D-pad, and within the PlayStation, they're often used to navigate menus and make selections. At the bottom of the controller, you will find 2 joysticks, a left joystick and a right joystick. These send both X and Y coordinates to the console. On the right side of the controller, we have 4 buttons, a cross, a circle, a square, and a triangle. These buttons are generally used within video games, but of course for our purposes, we can use them for pretty well anything. In the center of the console, there's a start button and a select button, both which are normally used within games, but again, we can use them for our purposes. and the PS or PlayStation button, which can be used as a power button and also to select menus. Looking at the front of the controller, we can see two buttons on each side. On the right side are the right shoulder and right trigger buttons, and the left side, the left shoulder and the left trigger. Remember, we're looking at the front of the controller, and that's why left and right are reversed. There are 4 LEDs on the front of the controller, and their status can be set by the console. Finally, the controller has a mini USB jack. This jack is used for 2 purposes. It can be used to recharge the internal battery, and it can also be used to connect the controller directly to a console or to a personal computer. In addition to the previously described features, the PlayStation 3 controller also contains 2 motors, one in each handle, and this will rumble the controller as a form of tactical feedback. Internally, the PS3 controller has a 3-axis accelerometer to get an X, Y, and Z position. It also contains a gyroscope to detect rotational movement. Finally, the PlayStation 3 controller has an internal rechargeable battery. So let's take a look at a couple of PS3 controllers, and then we'll see how we can use these as control devices for an ESP32.
The instant fix for snorers without touching their nose.
Most people waste money on fixes and still end up sleeping.
3 controllers, and then we'll see how we can use these as control devices for an ESP32. And here are the 2 PS3 style controllers that I picked up. Now, of course, showing these off to most of you is probably pretty silly because I'm sure you probably have a whole home full of these things. But as I said earlier, I'm not a gamer, so these are very new to me. I just got them a few days ago. I bought them individually, and I paid 16 Canadian dollars for each one of these. That's about 12 US dollars. I actually could have bought them as a pair for 25 Canadian, which is in the neighborhood of 20 US dollars. And that, to me, is the most amazing thing about these, is the value of these. Like, considering what you get for like 10 or 12 US dollars, it's absolutely unbelievable. Of course, these are very inexpensive controllers. You can get higher quality ones, but for most of the purposes we're going to use, these will work just perfectly. And as you can see, they've got a couple of joysticks on them. Some buttons over here. There's a whole button pad over here. And there are some buttons on this side as well, too. Now, over here, you'll see a few LEDs. This is the mini USB port. I actually like mini USB better than micro USB, to be perfectly honest, at least for power purposes. I think it's more rugged. And this is what you will use to charge it. And it's also what we're going to use in order to get the MAC address that they have buried inside here. That's the MAC address of the console. Now, inside here, there is more than meets the eye. There's actually an accelerometer inside here. So as you move this around, you can send readings out to the console. And in each of the handles, they've got a little motor. And the motor is there for vibrating it. So the console can send back a signal to vibrate the controller and give you some feedback. So again, for the kind of money that these things go for, they're an incredible value. And so today we're going to see how we can use these with an ESP32. Now, before you can begin your experiments with your ESP32 and the PS3 controller, you're going to need to know what MAC address is embedded inside the controller. Now, I want to be clear about this. This is not the controller's MAC address. This is the MAC address of the console. And that MAC address is held within non-volatile memory inside your controller. Now, you can probably get the MAC address of your console from the console itself. However, there is another way of retrieving it, and it is a tool called the 6-axis pair tool, which you see over here. Now, this is an excellent tool, and it works very well, but it does have one serious drawback, and that is it is only available for Microsoft Windows. So if you're using Linux or Mac, you're going to have to find a Windows machine in order to use this. Now, I've plugged in my controller, and you'll notice that I seem to have a MAC address of all zeros, which might initially seem to be strange, but it's not. Remember, I don't own one of these consoles, and so I just bought a controller. And when you buy a new controller, it usually does have a MAC address of all zeros, and that's because it's a broadcast address, and so it will be able to connect to the console and then obtain the correct MAC address. However, if you do have a controller that was used with a console, you will have a different address up over here, and this is the address that you wish to record in order to use with our experiments. Now, you can also change the address. And if you wish, you can type a new MAC address into here, hit update, and it will write it to the non-volatile memory. So this is a very easy way of changing the MAC address, especially if you want to do these experiments and you still have a working PS3 console and you don't want interference between the two of them. But at any rate, the 6-axis pair tool is a simple way of getting the embedded MAC address from your PS3 controller. So as we've seen, the Sony PlayStation 3 controllers just use Bluetooth to communicate with the console. And of course, since the ESP32 uses Bluetooth, we should be able to communicate with the ESP32. Now, we could take the PlayStation 3 controller, set up a communication link to the ESP32, and try to decode all of its signals. But that would be a lot of work, and we really don't need to do it thanks to a fellow named Jeffrey Van Pernis. Jeffrey has created a library for the ESP32 specifically for working with the PS3 controller, and it is absolutely fantastic. So let's go and install Jeffrey's library and then run a few of the example sketches that'll show you just how easy it is to make an ESP32 talk to a Sony PS3 controller. Now here's the ESP32 PS3 library up on GitHub, and you can head over there to learn a bit more about this library. They've got a bit of documentation down over here, including some bits about pairing the controller, getting the MAC address, some of the stuff we've already covered. And they also show you how to get started with the library with both the Arduino IDE and the ESP32 IDF environment. Now you can install the library over here by downloading the zip, but if you're using the Arduino IDE, you could do it directly within the IDE. And so if you go into your libraries over here and type in ESP32 PS3, as I have over here, you will get the library. Now I've already got mine installed, of course, but you can hit the install button to install it yourself. And once you've installed the library, it does come with a number of code examples, some of which we're going to run, and they demonstrate how we can use this excellent PS3 controller library. Now, the library includes a number of example sketches, and if you're only going to run one, I would suggest running this one, the PS3 demo sketch, because this pretty well shows almost every function of the library. Now, we start by including the library itself, and when you include the library, it creates an object itself called PS3, and so you just use that within your sketch. The only other thing they define up here is a couple of integers. Player has to do with the player LEDs on the controller, and battery is the level of the battery in the controller. Now, the first function they define is called notify, and notify is actually a callback function. It'll be defined as that in the setup. And this callback function is executed every single time that data is received from the controller. And what they've done in Notify is just gone and checked every single button, every single control, and displayed its status on the screen if it is being manipulated. So for example, over here is the cross button, and we're looking at an event for the button down. And if it happens, we'll print started pressing the cross button. And here's the button up event, which is release the cross button. And they go through the same thing for the square and the triangle button, etc., etc. Then they go through what are called D-pad buttons, which are the ones which have the arrows for up, down, left, and right, and they do the same thing. The shoulder button is the same thing, and the trigger buttons. Now we go to the digital stick events, and we do the same thing for those. And then even the buttons for start and stop, etc., they all get treated here. So every single button on the controller has its status displayed. If you activate it, it'll trigger in here. Now we go to the two analog joysticks, and there are a left joystick and a right one. Here's the left one, so here's left X, and left Y, and here's right X and right Y, and we're going to print the values of them so we can get the joystick values over here. And the D-pads also have analog events as well, and so we print those ones as well whenever the analog value of them change. And so this basically goes through every single possible event and then goes through battery events. And the battery event is just simply the state of the battery, whether it's charging, full, low, even dying, or if it's in shutdown mode. Now, there's another one called on connect, and this is just executed every time that the controller has been connected. And
Yeah, that's it.
I want to be rich.
Wishing for more money? All you need is your phone. No. Go to Geico, get a quote, and you could save $900 with your phone.
Look at that, it's ringing.
It feels good to save some coin. It feels good to Geico.
Hey, boys and girls. Today is Motor Day. And what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the inverter. This is one of the motors off the Tesla Model S Plaid. This is the inverter. Let's take this off and let's look at this. This, like the sign says, is the Model 3 front. This is the Model Y front. This is the Model 3 rear. And this is the Model Y rear. Now, for those of you who aren't engineers, this is good engineering. This is forward and backward compatible. This is what I like to see when I see products manufactured and designed and put in the hands of the people who are going to basically live with this, because quite frankly, every one of them can take the same inverter package. This, by the way, I'm going to show you right now, has a little note on it. As soon as I find it, right there. Model 3. The other ones will say Model 3 as well, because this is the standard that they have inside their organization. And because this board is so advanced, it's going to be around for a long time. All they have to do is modify some of these chips, but at the end of the day, this is a really good design. Let's go and look at the rest of the motor. So before we get started, let's zero in on this a little bit. This is the board that came off of the Model Y. You'll notice that the insignia where it says Model 3 right there is in a different location. The Model 3 board and the Model Y board are very, very similar. Only a few components change. If we look at the difference between what we saw over on the other inverter versus this inverter, you can see that there are things that are in different locations, but a lot of it looks identical. To the average person, like you can see there's a couple of capacitors there that aren't here. These boards are very, very similar, and they're made to be modified a little bit so that Tesla can upgrade over the time that the product will be in the marketplace. And if you look, you can see this is one of the other inverters, and you can see that apart from, oops, wrong one. This is one of the other inverters that's from the Plaid, and you can see that they're identical. These are identical. Regardless of whether it's a front motor, a rear motor, it doesn't matter. It's identical. So with that, let's talk about a little bit about the motors and the casings themselves. So Ben's with me, so I don't screw up, and we're going to talk a little bit about the integration of these two motors, and we've got them sitting right in front of us. Ben, why don't you jump in and
all right, I can do that. Thanks, Sandy.
Yeah.
So we have the rear motor assembly that's sitting at the front side of the table right now. They have two motors and two inverters that are all connected into one housing assembly. So when it gets mounted into the vehicle, it's going in as one unit. The gearbox housing has been integrated into the stator housing so that this is now one piece. They share a common gearbox housing on the inner side, which allows them to make this a very compact unit. There are two different oil pumps on the two different stators to keep both of them cool. Then there's another oil pump that's located in this middle center casting.
What we can do here is maybe show off the filter, the cooler, and one of those pumps in here.
This is the front motor that we've taken out. We have the oil filter, which there's just one oil filter on the rear two motor assembly as well. So one oil filter up front. They have one heat pump and then the heat exchanger. I said heat pump, I meant oil pump. I'm sorry. They have one oil pump up front and one heat exchanger. So each motor on the rear has the same pump and the same heat exchanger.
You know, one of the things that we noticed that we really like is if we look at the way the housing is put together, you've got a bolt that comes in from this direction, passes through that section, and then bolts into the rear housing for the stator. This is a really good way of making things happen, because in order to make bolts work really well, you have to torque them and then put them into yield. So you actually stretch the bolt so it turns into a spring. This arrangement here, having everything coming through in one direction and not having a bolt coming here and then tying into that center section, or from there and into the center section, that's a really good idea. Bolt stretch is really important, especially on aluminum products. So we were really happy to see what's going on with that.
Yep. And one other thing that they did integrate here is they don't have a differential on the rear. They have the two motors, so they're doing torque vectoring. Each motor is driving one of the rear wheels. It's not like the front where there is a differential in here, so that they're able to drive both of the wheels and you don't get any skid when you're going around the corner, any chirping of your wheels.
Mm-hmm.
They are using the same oil in these that they were using in the 3 and Y as well. So it's going down their production line. They don't have something else they have to pump into these. It's getting the same oil. And then they did change the gear ratio on these. They've lowered them a little bit. The Model S has a 7.54 to 1 gear ratio, when the Model Y was at 8.996 to 1. So it's been reduced quite a bit.
So let's look at one other thing that I was surprised to see, happily surprised to see, and that's over here. Yeah, I just didn't want to run over the tools here. There we are. This right here is a mirror finish. There are a lot of ways of making that happen, but the best way is something called roller burnishing, and that's what I think is going on here. Now, this is where the bearings fit, and bearings have to have a very accurate and precise hole to be pushed into. This roller burnishing is, if that's what it is, and I think it is, this is a fabulous way of putting bearings into a housing. This will give me a dead accurate diameter to shove those bearings in, and the bearings like it when they're pressed in, and they want to be just the right snugness in order to make this work. This is something I haven't seen. Usually the only time you see this is like in brake components, like the master cylinder is done using roller burnishes, because it compresses the It compresses all of the tool marks.
Snoring, gasping.
All of the tool marks and whatnot, flattens it out and makes it so that it's actually forged, cold forged to give you this surface. And it's really, really something. I really, really am impressed with this. So.
All right, we'll take a look at a couple of other things that we have here in the housing. We're going to look where the inverter mounts into the housing next. So we have this casting feature here. That is for the bleed resistor that is on the inverter. So that's a heat sink. So it's using some of the cooling that's inside the motor that's cooling the stator to help cool the inverter as well. And then one other thing that they've done with this unit that Tesla hasn't done before is they are now side mounting their inverter, which means you have the stator that's right here. Typically they mount on the end of this on kind of a cap, but because of their width constraints, because they have two motors that are next to each other, they've had to move their inverter to the side. And one of the penalties from that, you can see this piece here is still in. That is where the inverter will connect to this bus bar. And this bus bar, this is the other side, so it's not going to sit in here the same way. But this bus bar is going to go and connect to your stator. The leads that they have on their stator typically connect straight to their inverter when you're able to end mount the inverter. So they've had to add a piece, but they kept the same inverter and the same inverter housing. So it is it's a decision that they made to keep a common component that's complex and just bring in a simple bus bar.
The one thing we also noticed was the gasketing. There's no RTD on anything for this product. All of them are laminated gaskets. So these are gaskets these are the premium gaskets. You'll notice that they've got both a metallic part, in this case aluminum, and then gasketing material and an O-ring type of gasket or a half O-ring kind of gasket that's molded on top. We used to call this vulcanized in place. I'm not sure what they're calling it now, but this is, like I say, the premium way of doing it. And the reason for that is because when I screw these bolts together, I want to have them into yield. That means that there's tremendous amount of force. If I use an ordinary gasketing material, it's going to flatten it out. With this, I will flatten the gasketing material, but this is going to act as a little bit of a shim to make sure that I don't crush it too much, so that it becomes ineffective. If you flatten just an ordinary seal, it'll leak eventually. So this is a really good gasket, really kind of expensive, but a very good gasket for the life of the product. This is your million-mile kind of gasket.
Okay, and then we're going to jump onto the stator to talk a little bit next. The stators that they're using are the same ones out of the Model Y. Again, Tesla has gone with reusing components everywhere that they can. So this is something that they're taking. They're already.